Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much for taking the time to meet us today. When will we finally see a Chinese player in one of the Israeli football or basketball leagues?
Before I take in your questions, please allow me to say a few words. Today it is a great delight and an honor for me to take your interview. Sport is a common language of human beings. Sports exchanges and cooperation is an important part of China-Israel relations. We're ready to work with Israeli friends to build sports exchanges and cooperation as a bridge to bring our two peoples and two countries closer. Having Chinese players in Israel has something more than just communications between players, because in this way the players will learn from each other and improve their skills, and the two peoples will know more about each other and celebrate a closer friendship. In recent years, cooperation between China and Israel in sports has already achieved positive results. As far as I know, a female Chinese football player called Han Huimin started to play for Israel's Kiryat Gat club since December 2020. And the Israeli football player Eran Zahavi played for Guangzhou RNF club from June 2016 to September 2020. Actually, he was quite a popular star among Chinese football players. Particularly, it's worth mentioning that Mr. Zahavi donated a large number of medical supplies to the Chinese city of Wuhan after the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic. This reflects the truth that a friend in need is a friend indeed. Chinese people were deeply moved by his deeds, and our two people's friendship was deepened. In a word, I expect we will have more communications and exchanges between our players as much as our friends in Israel do. And I have the confidence that in the future we will have such cooperations and exchanges.
The People's Republic of China is at the top of the world when it comes to technology. What made it happen, and how much does the Chinese government contribute to technological development?
Our achievements are the result of many factors working together. First, we stay committed to the strategy of national rejuvenation through science and education. The Chinese leaders came up with the important idea of science and technology constitute the primary productive force. The government proactively implemented the strategy of national rejuvenation through science and education. Second, we took advantage of the huge domestic market. China has 1.4 billion population and more than 400 million middle-income population. This super large market has generated vast domestic demand, which provides potential rich application scenarios and broad space for technological innovation. And third, we valued international exchanges and cooperation. Science and technology developments were achieved through joint efforts and exchanges of people around the world. And China is actively contributing to world science and technology development. And at the same time, it is committed to openness and cooperation in this field. We aim to strengthen exchanges and cooperation with all countries, including Israel, for mutual benefit and win-win results. And here particularly I want to emphasize that the Chinese side attaches importance to the transmission between innovative results into the usage in the field of sports and to achieve a mutually reinforcing effect.
You spoke of cooperations between countries, between peoples in terms of technology. Do you know about Israeli technology, current Israeli technology in the sports used by Chinese companies?
Israel is known as the state of innovation. It is a leading country in terms of integrating innovative technology into the sports industry, and its product in this field draw much attention from the world. China and Israel has conducted very good cooperation in the field of science and technology.
但是我看过
I once saw a news report that a sports company in Shanghai signed an agreement with an Israeli company to introduce a smart training system to China, which will help football and tennis players in their training.
我也可以再进一步了解这方面。
Of course, in the future, I may look into it and see if there is any other specific cases of such cooperation, and then I will share it with our friends.
You live here in Israel, a country with a completely different culture from People's Republic of China. What can you tell us about us Israelis from your perspective?
我是2021年1月。
In January 2021, I arrived as the 9th Chinese ambassador to Israel. In more than 1.5 years since then, I've been to many places and made many friends to promote China-Israel friendship and cooperation. The longer I stay here, the more I can find about the unique charm of this country and the friendlessness of its people. The Jewish people have splendid culture and history that spanned thousands of years. At the same time, they are also full of vigor and vitality. The natural splendor and diverse landscapes in Israel are fascinating. And as the state of innovation, Israel also has a world-leading innovative spirit and industries. The local people are hospitable and friendly towards China and Chinese people, and I'm deeply impressed by that.
同样让我印象深刻
What also impressed me is Israeli friends' enthusiasm for doing sports. One can see people running, playing balls, and working out everywhere, be it along the road, in the park, or on the beach. The vitality is just all over there. I also learned that football and basketball are the most popular sports in Israel, while tennis and pole vaulting both have a long tradition.
在这儿，我还想给
The Chinese embassy in Israel has always been an active supporter of sports exchanges between our countries. Over the past few years, we annually held the Ambassadors' Cup tournament in Israel, attracting many Israeli enthusiasts of table tennis, badminton, and martial arts to participate. Looking forward, we will continue to hold these tournaments and stand ready to work with Israeli friends to build more bridges for sports exchanges between our countries and make more contributions to China-Israel friendly relations.
在这儿。
And here, taking this opportunity, I would like to invite more Israeli friends to participate in the Ambassadors' Cup tournaments. I will transfer relevant information for your reference.
Mr. Ambassador, we know you have a very busy schedule. Thank you for taking the time to meet us today.
Thank you.